Remember those afternoons at Sears, wandering through aisles filled with the latest goods? Or the days when Circuit City was the go-to spot for the newest tech? What really happened to make such beloved brands disappear? Today, join us as we explore 10 famous stores from the past that no longer exist. Growing up in America between the 1930s and 1990s, chances are that the local A&P store was a significant part of your routine. These stores were pillars of their communities, a familiar sight in countless neighborhoods. But for younger generations, the name is little more than a vague memory, if they've even heard of it at all. How did such a powerful brand fade so quickly? Imagine stepping into a grocery store that wasn't just a place to shop, but the beating heart of your community. Founded in 1859, this beloved store was more than just a supermarket. It was a cornerstone of daily life, especially during its golden era from the 1950s to 1970s. I still remember those Saturday mornings shopping with my mother. There were no self-checkout machines or impersonal barcodes. The employees knew the store inside and out, always ready to help. The quality of the products was unparalleled by today's standards. What do I miss the most? The smell of fresh coffee filling the air. The big old coffee grinder was amazing, and the smell, just thinking about it makes me remember those days. At its peak, this once great retail giant had over 16,000 locations across the United States. It revolutionized retail, introducing low prices and promotions at a scale never before seen. It seemed invincible, until it wasn't. Like people say, when a company stops changing and growing, it starts to fade away. As consumers gravitated toward larger supermarkets offering one-stop shopping, this iconic store struggled to stay relevant. In 2015, the last location closed its doors, marking the quiet end of an era. Remember when the Sears catalog arrived in the mail? Boy, I miss those days. Flipping through those pages was like stepping into a world of possibilities. Sears started as a modest catalog business, offering a vast range of products that could be purchased and delivered directly to customers' homes. This innovative model revolutionized retail, especially at a time when many rural areas in the United States lacked easy access to physical stores. For millions of Americans, the Sears catalog was the best way to buy things, and it quickly made people trust the company. Over time, Sears became more than just a store. It turned into a gathering place, a spot where families shopped for Christmas, bought their first bikes, or picked out their first tools. Brands like Kenmore and Craftsman were known for being strong and lasting. However, as the market evolved, Sears struggled to keep up. E-commerce and increasing competition changed the retail landscape, and the experience of strolling through the aisles, carefully selecting each item, began to fade away. Today, only memories remain. Those were the good old days. The doors may have closed, but Sears still lives on in the hearts of those who grew up with it. In an increasingly digital world, is there still room for the revival of such an iconic brand? Share your Sears memories in the comments. This might have been the place where you bought your first Atari games. Zayre was founded in 1956 with a clear mission to offer quality products at affordable prices. At a time when saving money was crucial, this beloved store stood out as a discount retailer that truly delivered value. It was a place where you could find everything: clothing, toys, appliances, and home decor, all in one location. Long before one-stop shopping became a common concept, Zayre was pioneering the experience. And during the holiday season, walking through aisles filled with decorations and toys was unforgettable. Shopping today is nothing like it used to be. Back then, shopping meant meeting up with friends and family, spending the day browsing, and maybe grabbing lunch as well. Great memories of those days. For many, Zayre was the first stop on any shopping list. Its stores were accessible, with a simple and efficient layout that allowed customers to quickly find what they needed. In the 60s and 70s, the chain expanded rapidly, keeping pace with the suburban boom. But as the 80s unfolded, the retail landscape began to shift. Aggressive competition and changing consumer habits took their toll. By 1988, Zayre was acquired by the parent company of TJ Maxx, and within 2 years, the brand had vanished. Zayre wasn't the only victim of a changing market. The rise of large chains, e-commerce, and shifting consumer expectations reshaped the industry, leaving many traditional stores behind. Zayre's story is a stark reminder that even the biggest names can vanish if they don't adapt to a constantly evolving landscape. Remember the days before online shopping? It was a Saturday morning. You're at the mall, ready to spend hours browsing through the racks at Mvin, hunting for that perfect piece of clothing or a new item to decorate your home. For many, these trips were weekly rituals, family bonding moments that brought a unique sense of satisfaction. But what happened to this beloved store that suddenly vanished from our lives? With the slogan, "Great brands, small prices," the company carved out its place in the market since its founding in 1949 in California. The promise of offering quality products at affordable prices attracted a loyal customer base, and during the 1970s and 1980s, the chain expanded rapidly. It was easy to get lost in the aisles, exploring shelves filled with options, from back-to-school clothes to Christmas gifts. But as time went on, other retailers noticed the success of this approach and began adopting similar strategies, offering quality products at low prices. Even though sales increased, profits began to suffer due to growing competition. In this challenging environment, Mvin was acquired by private equity firms that promised to revitalize the chain. However, decisions focused on quick profits ultimately compromised the quality and service that customers valued. Many believe this change sealed the store's fate. Unable to compete with giants like Target and Walmart, it couldn't reinvent itself. In 2008, after years of struggle, Mvin closed its doors for good. This leaves us wondering, would this retailer still be around if it hadn't been acquired by those firms? Do you think this store deserves a comeback? Share your thoughts with us. Although Bradley's department stores closed their doors over a decade ago, the chain still holds a special place in the hearts of many. Maybe you remember racing to the toy or video game section while your mom shopped, or perhaps you have memories of working there. My favorite memory, browsing the music section. For years, Bradley's was a beloved shopping destination, especially in the northeastern United States, known for its great deals, wide variety of products, and even the nostalgic snacks from the food court. But how did such a cherished store end up disappearing? Founded in 1958, Bradley's quickly became a household name, particularly in states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New York. The stores had a straightforward approach, offer quality products at prices everyone could afford, and it worked. Families would gather on weekends to explore the aisles, often leaving with more than they had planned to buy. In the 70s and 80s, Bradley's was one of the top shopping destinations in the region. Its promotions were eagerly anticipated, and the store built a strong connection with its customers. But as the 90s rolled in, something began to change. It wasn't just the overexpansion or the rise of big supermarket chains that chipped away at it. It was like the world around us was speeding up, and Bradley's was struggling to keep pace. Walking through those familiar aisles in the late 90s, the energy just wasn't at the same. The shelves seemed a little emptier, the crowds thinner. By 2001, it was clear that Bradley's couldn't survive in this new, fast-paced world. When they finally closed their doors, for many, it felt like saying goodbye to an old friend. It's a piece of our past that, while gone, still brings a smile whenever I think about it. Montgomery Ward, affectionately known as Monkey Wards by many, was more than just a department store. It was an American institution. Established in 1872, this pioneering retailer was one of the first to offer mail-order catalogs, bringing a wide range of products to rural America. For over a century, families relied on Montgomery Ward for everything from clothing to home goods. The store's iconic catalog, filled with everything imaginable, was eagerly anticipated by households across the country, especially during the holiday season. Sadly, after struggling to keep up with modern retail trends, Montgomery Ward closed its doors in 2001, leaving behind a legacy of innovation and a trove of memories. Do you remember flipping through the thick catalog pages, circling toys or home appliances you hope to find under the Christmas tree? Share your memories in the comments. J.C. Penney was another giant in the retail world, known for its wide selection of affordable clothing, home furnishings, and more. Founded in 1902, J.C. Penney became a shopping destination for generations of Americans. Its catalog, like Montgomery Ward's, was a staple in many households, and shopping at J.C. Penney was often a family affair. Remember those big sale days when your parents would take you there for new school clothes or holiday shopping? The brand's stores were anchor points in malls across the country, symbolizing the heyday of American retail. While some J.C. Penney stores still exist today, the company has closed numerous locations, and its presence has significantly diminished. The J.C. Penney of today is a shadow of its former self. But the memories of shopping there with family on a Saturday afternoon will never fade. For tech enthusiasts and everyday shoppers alike, Circuit City was the go-to destination for the latest in electronics. Founded in 1949, this retail giant was a key player in the electronics boom of the late 20th century. Whether you were looking for a new TV, the latest video game console, or just a pack of AA batteries, Circuit City had it all. Who else remembers spending hours deciding on the perfect CD to buy? The distinctive red and white storefronts were a familiar sight in malls and shopping centers across the country. Unfortunately, with the rise of online shopping and stiff competition, Circuit City went bankrupt in 2008. The loss of Circuit City marked the end of an era for many who grew up shopping there. Before a GameStop, there was Babbage's, a paradise for video game lovers. Founded in 1984, Babbage's specialized in software and video games, quickly becoming the place to be for anyone who loved gaming. The store was often packed with gamers, eagerly scanning the shelves for the latest PC and console games. It wasn't just a store, it was a community hub where kids and adults alike could connect over their shared love of video games. Babbage's eventually merged with other retailers to form GameStop, but for those who remember the original stores, Babbage's holds a special place in their hearts. Were you one of those people who spent hours browsing through the movie posters and DVD collections at Suncoast? This beloved store was the perfect place for movie lovers in the 1980s and 1990s. Specializing in movie memorabilia, VHS tapes, and DVDs, Suncoast stores were a haven for anyone who wanted to bring a piece of Hollywood home. From posters and action figures to special edition DVDs, Suncoast had everything a film fan could want. Walking into a Suncoast store felt like stepping into a movie lover's paradise. But as digital media and streaming services took over, Suncoast couldn't keep up, and the chain started closing its stores in the mid-2000s. Did we miss your favorite childhood store? Share it for our next video.